Yo, have not done an update in the mine in quite some time, guys. Yo, so we got some changes that are going to be coming up into this mine very shortly here that I'm very excited about. First off, I've got some server cases here. So these two here are 4Us that will fit 8 GPUs in them. This one is a 6U. That one typically can fit between 10 and 12 GPUs in it, but that one is going to get an FPGA water rig in there. I've got 3 of these, the 4Us, so this is going into a 4U. That's going into a 4U. And then, of course, the one out here, that's going into a 4U also. And what this is going to allow me to do is actually put everything consolidated on the one rack in front of my window over here. And what that's going to do for me is that I'll be able to actually control heat a little bit better. I'll be taking my ASICs off of this rack here because this is rack number 2. Everything is going to fit on the rack number 1. And then, of course, it'll open up this whole area again for walking and all that other good stuff. Everything should fit onto the one rack, which is what my hopes are to doing on all of this. I've got new power supplies for all the GPU rigs. This way I'm no longer utilizing standard power supplies. I will be using server grade power supplies at 2,000 watts. If you guys are curious, I'm actually in the process of building one of these right now. So this is the new power supply, guys. So all the 4Us will be getting these. I've got a couple of more up over there. These power supplies are 2,000 watts. Here, I'll get up on there so you can see the specs on this. So it can use 180 volt minimum to 264 volt. So basically 220. This thing powers up. Gold rated, of course. Got to have that gold rated. Minimum gold rating. If you can, platinum. This thing will produce about 1,800 watts off of one power supply. Yo. Gives you 8 individual VGA cables. Each VGA cable has an 8 pin by 6 by 2. So it will plug, each one of these will be for one graphics card itself. So it has, you know, an 8+2, and then a where is it? And then a standard 8s. So, and they're separatable on some of them. See, this one will slide out, so I can turn this one into a 6-pin, but I will not be doing that. So most of my cards don't use a dual pin. Some do, but majority of them are only a single 8-pin, except for this rig where I've got 1080s on there, and you can see right there these got the dual 8 pins on them. So I will be I'm doing like a practice test run, figuring out how everything has to be situated in here. I want to do a nice clean run, see how clean I can get it all up in here, because the more wiring you have in front of your fans, the more restriction the fan actually has. And these fans are like right around 200 CFM a piece. So if you got a lot of restriction on them, you're going to be hampering the overall case airflow in here. And then you'll start having overheating graphics cards sitting in here, and that's the last thing we want to have. So don't mind my mess here, guys. I'm just kind of getting everything orientated for the very first time. The power supply has two fans built into it, so even this whole thing is a throughput behind this fan, so you're not losing airflow just because the power supply is right here. This thing produces between the 6 exhausting fans, and they all blow this way. Originally, whenever I got it, these were actually flipped the wrong way. So these, the other two 4Us, this was in a push, and then this was pushing, so all the air would have stayed right here. So I had to kind of fix the airflow in the case. This way there was no issues with it, but at least everything was there. This case actually was damaged. I don't know if you can kind of see it, like right in here, there's a little dent. This thing was actually bent in, like it either got dropped during packaging or it got dropped really hard during shipping, which in turn broke the fan, the housing at least. So I twisty tied it up in place, and it seems to be holding pretty good. I did turn it on, so it's not like it's probably get it a little tighter. So hopefully this will all hold really nicely. I might have to get a zip tie on there to really kind of lock it all up into there, but turned it on, everything was working, even though the housing on that middle fan took a hit. Hopefully it won't give me any issues. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. So yeah, we are switching over to these. Will be much better than the Vetta frames in my opinion, just because the Vetta frames, it's really hard to control airflow on this. Even if you line them up with a bunch of fans up onto this bad boy, even with a ton of fans on here, you still have all this open area, so you're not really funneling the air through the GPUs very effectively, unfortunately. So I'm going for more of a higher airflow volume, and that's kind of why I've gone with the server racks themselves. And on top of that, you see how big of a footprint this thing leaves here? I mean, I got my foot's 12 inches, so I mean, or 11 and a half or so. So this thing is like 3 feet wide on the 6 GPU, and it's like 3.5 feet wide, 4 feet wide on the 8 GPU rig, Vetta frames. So these things just take up a monstrous amount of room. And if you think about this, I'll be able to put these onto a shelf and then stand it vertical, and then I can line in more of these onto one shelf. So just kind of think of it that way, versus I've got to have enough room for that beast. So stay tuned. The stuff in the mining room will be getting a whole lot cleaner. And then of course, I'm a pack rat. I don't throw away any of my gear. You don't know how many times me saving all of this stuff has helped me out. One, I keep all the graphics card boxes back there along the wall, just in case I ever sell them. If you guys want graphics cards, get a hold of me. Discord links are down below. So I could sit there and sell off all the graphics cards right back to you in the original boxes. So stay tuned, and you will be having a pleasant time watching me kind of retransformate all of this stuff, make it clean as all get out. I mean, heck, even that's the old Medusa. She used to just be zip tied to the rack here. Now she's all in that. This was like test 1, but I don't like the idea that I've got to have 2 power supplies on this thing. It's fine, it works great, but yeah, we're gonna do things a little bit differently. moving forward. So stay tuned, hope you enjoy, and I'll see you all on the next one.